Hello, my name is Yanis Swick.
Hello, my name is Bhotsathorn Dittasagul, and we come from the Demonstration School of Nakhon Pathom Ratchapat University, Nakhon Pathom, Thailand. And today we will present about optimizing fear and greed index weighted dollar cost averaging and the capital constraint in equity markets. First, what is dollar cost averaging? DCA is an investment strategy where you invest a fixed dollar amount at regular interval, example monthly or weekly. Furthermore, it is also a way for investors to ignore short-term market volatility. And basically, volatility is mean inconsistency of the market. And DCA also remove emotion of investment. And what is the CNN Fear and Greed Index? The Fear and Greed Index gauges how the investor feel about the market. And 0 is extreme fear and 100 is extreme greed. It is represented by either a graph or a semicircle on the CNN website.
Yes.
And fear and greed are fundamental forces that drive the financial market. Multiple financial crises can be traced back to this basic human emotion, like housing
2008.
crisis in
Yes.
2008. And what is FGI weighted DCA? It is an enhanced version of DCA by relying on FGI rather than investing a fixed amount per interval. You design expenditure on how fearful or greedy the market is. Like when the market is fearful, you buy more, and when market is greedy, you buy less, as stated in highlight. FGI weighted DCA is basically regular DCA multiplied by how fearful or greedy the market is. That's week or
Some
some
other
other.
time span.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. So, okay. Now, these are some important terms to remember. We have two terms. We have an ETF. So, what is an ETF? We'll explain it in daily things that we use in daily terms. For example, we have a basket and we go to a supermarket. We don't grab just what, if we want to buy a lot of things, we need to use a basket. That's very important. So, we need to use a basket. And then that's what basically it is. An ETF is a basket of different assets. So then what is an SPY? An SPY is then the basket brand. You could say it's a brand or the type of basket. I actually meant to say it could also be a shopping cart, but it's like basically a type of basket. And for example, if you have some types of other baskets, they have different what is it called? Prices. Loan, basically. You take a loan or prices. That's very important to keep in mind. Okay, so we use 15 years of weekly SPY data, which is an S&P 500 fund. So it's basically an SPY is, of course, related to the S&P. It is not related, it's how you buy the S&P 500. Okay. So we use that 15 years of weekly data. We tuned it from 2011 to 2012, and then tested on more recent data as stated from 2023 to 2026 to test if it still holds up in our world. This is very important, and all this research aims to see if the fear and greed index could be utilized to improve trading decisions on SPY itself, or to buy stocks on the S&P 500. And S&P 500 is basically the top 500 American companies. That's it. So the FGI DCA adjusts weekly investment according to market sentiment. So as he said before, it increases expenditure when the market is fearful and decreases expenditure or does not have any expenditure at all when the market is greedy. We have 5 parameters to tell us, yes, when the market is the market is fearful, we buy more, and market is greedy, we buy less. These are the 5 parameters that we use to code. So we have the fear threshold, which is S, the sentiment smoothing window, W, the panic threshold, P_threshold, and 2 booster multipliers, which are P_multi and B_multi. Remember this will be represented in a visual graph in the next page. These are all the ranges of the possible values on the screen, as you can see here. These are the ranges, and then I'll just skip to the next page, and then so we get a total of 300,000 possible combinations to test to see which of these parameters are actually the best that we can use to guess the market and to tell us, oh yeah, this is fearful. Okay, so this is how it's represented visually. As you can see, W here is a neutral window. So that's a zone where it's not greedy, the market is not greedy, and it's not fearful. And the graph behind it is the FGI graph from CNN. And S is the fear threshold where the fear starts. P_THR is basically the panic threshold where panic starts. That's extreme fear. It's the same as extreme fear. And P multi and B multipliers will be used in panic. As said before, we will increase expenditure when there's panic. What does capital constraints mean? Capital constraints means you have a fixed budget per month. It doesn't have to be $1,000 as stated here. It doesn't have to be per month. I'm sorry. It has to be per interval, as he said before. And you, for example, if you don't, first, when the market is greedy, you don't spend anything at all sometimes. So you keep that $1,000 into a sort of bank, and then when the market is fearful, if you don't have any capital, you take from your like that bank, and then you take your money out and then spend more on the future. Basically, that's it. So how did we find the best parameters then? The best parameters will be, of course, said in the results page, but we'll like to say what is the best parameter that we use to like say, oh yeah, this is actually the best. This predicts the market the best. And we use a strategy called walk forward optimization. What does it do? It's basically you use the past to make a decision and then check if the decision worked in the future, and you repeat this process multiple times, moving forward through time. And then you can see here, rather than just testing 300,000 combinations just once, we use the strategy 5 times and resulting in approximately 1.5 million backtests to ensure that, oh yeah, we found actually the best parameters. To say, as I said before, to find the best time to, sorry, the best, basically the best parameters. So we trained it 5 times. As you can see, each time is about 300,000 backtests. And yeah, let's continue. Now, this is very important. Let me move my screen here. Okay, variable definition and model. What does it mean? Okay, for example, you have regular DCA, right? Regular DCA is just, as he said before, it's an investment. It doesn't have to be per week, but we in our research did it per week. It's per interval, so we did it per week and over time. So then what is R? R is basically the fear and greed itself. Well, now R is composed of 3 things: P multi and B multi. We'll explain soon. R base is R base. This is here R base. It's basically, this is the core. It's basically fear and greed. So as you can see here, one meaning 100%, plus this here is an extra percentage. Then that is in extreme fear. I don't want to explain the formula. We don't have that much time. If we have 1, when the market is in neutral zone, we don't increase expenditure at all, or we don't increase expenditure. We keep it still, as always. But when it's greedy, as you can see here, it's 1 minus this. It's then, that's in the greed. So it's here. This is in greed here. I'll try to visualize it, okay? It's pretty hard to understand. And then when it's extreme greed, or in this super green zone here, it's then 0. We don't do any expenditure at all. We don't spend any money at all. Yes. That's basically it. So then what is then P mult and B mult? These are multipliers to increase expenditure when the market is very fearful or extremely fearful. So then P multiplier will be used when, as you can see here, will be used when the FGI, the graph itself, crosses under the threshold. That's why it's called a threshold. It will be used then when it goes under the threshold. And then after the B multiplier is basically the recovery. So when the graph or the FGI goes back up, we use the recovery multiplier again. So we do it twice. Okay. Oops. Okay. Oh. Okay. Second, let me put this down. These are some terms, but I don't think we will need to be using them. It's just we don't have that much time. If we would like to explain it actually more, but we just don't have enough time. Oh, why is one a turn? Okay, bootstrapping is basically all of this, what I just showed you, the terms to remember, is basically something to validate our research. Yeah, it actually works. So bootstrapping, this is an example of example that in real life example, but really we have no time. And we just try to validate our research to see, yes, this works. This is the simplified version. This is the parameter optimization. Basically, what's our best parameter? Our best parameters are fear is 30. Okay, this is here. The best parameters of all from 300,000 is this, and the average top 10% of 200,000 or 30,000 is this. Okay, no, we won't be looking at any of this. We'll only look at the final portfolio value. As you can see, the regular DCA beats both FGI DCAs. So why is that so? It's because if you try to predict the market, but you can't predict the market. It's like, as you can see here, this research is just another way to prove that the less risk you take, the less profit you make. Hence, the more risk you take, the more profit you will make. This is very important. This is our research just shows like, hey, you can't just predict the market. It does not work like that. That's it. Thank you very much.